Welcome to Out of Home Insider, the loudest voice in out of home. Today's guest is Jess Fitzpatrick. Jess is the senior media trader at Buyers and Sellers Media, a unique new way for brands and creators to buy out of home. Buyers and Sellers buys unsold digital billboard space in bulk up front, giving media owners the advantage of knowing their inventory is sold while offering brands and creators the opportunity to bundle inventory and save money while still doing kick-ass campaigns. Coming to out of home via a more entrepreneurial route, Jess and her team have become market leaders in launching new crypto and NFT projects to the world via iconic digital spectaculars and their fleet of DigiVans, a term I really hope we can get to catch on here in the States. Jess is active on social media at OOH with Jess on TikTok and Instagram, and I really encourage you to give her a follow right now so you can see the incredible content she's creating around her campaigns. That's OOH with Jess on TikTok and Instagram. And real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to my main man, Jean-Paul Gideon of JPEG Media in Hawaii, for making the intro and outro music of the podcast. Not only is Jean-Paul a musical maestro, but his team at JPEG Media are the leaders in out of home in Hawaii. So make sure to check them out too at jpghawaii.com. Without further ado, let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to the Out of Home Insider Show, a podcast like no other, hosted by the one and only Tim Rowe. Get ready to have some knowledge dropped on you and to be entertained, because nothing's more valuable than food for your brain. So sit back, relax, we're about to dive in as the best industry podcast is about to begin.
Jess, this is exciting for me because we connected, maybe almost 2 years ago at this point, and Buyers and Sellers has evolved so much. I didn't realize it. I was brand new to the industry at the time, but so were you. We got Jess Fitzpatrick here from Buyers and Sellers. Jess, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. And you know, that's always a good place to start, which is like, how'd you get into this crazy game called Out of Home? You came into it or that late 2019 timeframe, right before the world got weird. But how'd you end up
just
here?
Before the world got really weird. So I started my out of home career at Clear Channel in the UK. And that came about really because I just wanted to get back into sales. I'd been doing kind of marketing consultancy for years. I ran my own businesses. My family business is like market stores and garden centres and stuff. I'd also ran a magazine company as well. So I'd always kind of touched on the kind of market trader, sales, marketing, media. Loved it. And I was so interested in kind of big fame campaigns when I was at school and college and uni. And there's a good friend of mine called Trevor Beatty, who was the guy that did the FC UK campaigns and the Wonder Bra adverts.
Very cool. Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. I remember when I was younger thinking, wow, I'd love to be involved in that. Now, I'm not an art director. I couldn't come up with the kind of ad ideas or anything, but getting into out of home, it's kind of that mixture of being able to go, I can help you as a brand onto those big screens and do all of that. So for me, it was like still salesy, still marketing, still advertising. It was just this perfect mix of, I want to give that a go. So that's what I did. I started at Clear Channel in the UK, was doing really well. And then someone from Buyers and Sellers Media approached me and said, would you be interested in this new concept? You'd be able to sell all sorts really, so it's not just Clear Channel, it would be all the other media owners in the UK, and then eventually we were looking to do stuff internationally as well, but on a larger scale. It's kind of like an out-of-home media wholesaler, and I'm like, oh, this sounds more up my street, because what I've found being at Clear Channel and from speaking to other people at some of the big media owners is that sometimes it can be a bit restricted in kind of the deals that you can do, because they're big businesses. The way that they do things is very different. Whereas at Buyers and Sellers, we'd be buying, like say, in the wholesale kind of mentality, and also being able to do last minute deals and do things the way I wanted to do. So for me, it was kind of like, yes, 100% on there. So we did that. And then I did that, started at Buyers and Sellers. And then COVID hit. I'd been there 1 month. At the time, I'd gone from kind of at Clear Channel, you're looking for those sort of smaller clients, medium-sized clients, and at Buyers and Sellers, it was just the big clients that we were after.
Big game hunting.
Minimum spend sort of 50K. And then COVID happened. So I was like, oh dear. But then it was great because actually, because we were such good value, we had people coming to us that were spending way more than 50K. Because they were going, well, yeah, like one of my big customers within the first few months was a lot more than that.
Because they were getting such value. Maybe we rewind and talk about the model that Buyers and Sellers has. It is so different. On the outside, it may appear like you're an agency, but really you're we're not buying space kind of in bulk.
Yeah, it's kind of like, we wouldn't say we're an agency, nor would we say we're a specialist. We're a bit of a hybrid in between and that's why I tend to like using the out-of-home wholesalers, but really it's kind of being that go-to person where you can talk to them in a way which goes, what is best for the client? How we're going to buy is how is best for the client, really. And going back to how we've evolved because of COVID, when we first set out, we were buying in bulk and selling in bulk only. And it was purely huge clients that wanted masses of media at good rates.
And are you buying this? You're just going out to the market saying, what do you have? I'll buy the space and then I'll sell it. You didn't necessarily have commits in this case. You were buying the space and then, all right, we're going to go sell this stuff.
So what we would do, we were going, right, you and you, you've got, all this stock. You're not using it all year round. What about if we buy a 1 in 6 slot? That's what they do in the UK. Upfront or over the year, and if you need it back, so long as you give us 2 in charges notice, you can have it back. But as a kind of all year round, we're buying your voidage basically. So everyone's like, well, that's great because I don't sell out all the time, and if there's an option to buy, have it back when Valentine's Day it might be busy or Christmas it might be busy, so long as they're giving us 4 weeks notice, then it's okay. Because our customers, what we found was there's a lot of customers out there that like to be always on, so they're not buying just for campaigns. And if they do need to buy for campaigns, if they adamantly need something for Christmas, then we say you've got to buy that on top. So you buy all year round and then you buy on top. So that's the kind of clients that we were dealing with in the beginning, and that's worked, and that's our bread and butter, and that's great, and it's going really well. But then because of COVID, we had a bit more time where people were, down in tools and going, what else is there? Can we do while what's different? And I had some of our biggest clients say to us, oh, can you get anything in the States? Now, this probably wasn't on our sort of plan for
you weren't looking for it.
No, we weren't looking for it, and I think it was because of you. Actually, I said to you, it was. I said to you, you're the guy that knows who do I need to speak to over in the States, and you've put me in touch with some great suppliers, and honestly, they've been amazing. And we ended up doing some really, really cool campaigns during lockdown. So we had Jim Shark, who are friends of ours. They literally live not that far from us, up the road. We put them in New York Times Square. They did a campaign which ended up being the best social media campaign they've ever done. The case study on that is just insane. The numbers, everything about it was just amazing. It was trending on the day in America at number 2 on Twitter the day that the Senate got taken over. It was trending worldwide on the day, just all over the place. We couldn't get our head around how good it went. So we did that, and then we did some stuff for music artists as well. And then all of a sudden, people are coming to me as kind of like the plug. Oh, you can get stuff in the US. And it's people that I guess would never think about doing that or know where to start that are going, oh, actually, I know, Jess, I could just pick up the phone and do that. They don't want to go through the long process of calling an agency, then booking an appointment and go through a specialist and then da-da-da-da. Sure. It's just too long. If they can just call me and go, oh, what's it cost to go on New York Times Square? There we go.
That was easy.
That was easy. And that's kind of it's just literally gone like this. What can you get at LA? What's next? What else can you do?
How great.
So we just started going from this business that was doing these big voidage deals all year round to now people coming to us and going, we want like one day stuff that's good for social media. And because I don't stop, I'm on the phone, on WhatsApp.
She doesn't stop. Yeah, no, it's 11 o'clock here in the States, and I'll send Jess a WhatsApp and then immediately typing. I'm like, I don't even know what time it is. But and then in the morning, you're still up. I don't know. You don't stop. She doesn't stop.
I don't. But I enjoy it. So it is
That's
what it is. So because we kept doing that, we just kept getting loads of clients from all different cool categories, which, to be fair, I come from a background running the magazine and like the marketing stuff that I've done in the past. Now all of a sudden I've got people that are music artists, like from a small town in Birmingham or London. They want to do stuff in the US or whatever it might be. So we just did that, and then we started doing more kind of one-day stuff in the UK, and then we got really into the NFT category as well.
You've blown up you've done so much NFT stuff, and it's not ordinary, it's not basic. You're doing really cool NFT stuff. That's obviously a bit of a viral sensation right now. It's the part of the zeitgeist of culture worldwide, which is the NFT craze. Where did it start for buyers and sellers? Was it just one particular artist? Was it one campaign and then kind of the floodgates opened up? How did it all come together?
Do you know what? There was a few inquiries that we were getting, and there was a guy called Chris who I get on with so well. Shout out to Chris from Rebel Cat Media.
Shout out, Chris.
Yeah, I work with him quite a bit, and he is an absolute diamond. And funny enough, the first client he brought to us was a client called Gorilla Diamonds, who are awesome. He's telling me about these NFTs. I'm going, what's an NFT? And telling me all about this. And I think we'd had a few inquiries. And the problem at the time was not many media owners would want to put these ads on their screens in the UK. They were like, what is it?
Right.
So, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm going, look, I'll sort it out. I'll get you on the screens, get some really good rates. We'll get some good content as well. And hopefully that will help get more people from that category in. So we did that, and sure enough, it worked. So then we kept getting onto a winner and doing all that. And then we got Hypebeast, which is just huge. If you're into NFTs, you'll know about Hypebeast. And I think you're showing the video that we did of the DigiVans in London now.
You got to tell us the DigiVan story too. You just had a bit of a run-in with the DigiVan the other day.
Yes, the DigiVans are taking off. We set out, this will just explain just how much it's grown. So at the beginning of lockdown, we had two as part of the group. We owned two, and they were very new, and there weren't, there still isn't many about in the UK. I'd say, I will say this, obviously. I do think ours are by far the best.
They're beautiful trucks. Buyers and sellers own a fleet of those trucks. Those are your trucks?
So part of the group of buyers and sellers, we've got experts in building screens themselves. So we've got another company that own screens and billboards across the UK, and they've also got build the DigiVan trucks as well. I keep calling them trucks. That's the US thing. DigiVans. It
is. I like the DigiVan thing. We got to get the DigiVan thing to pick up here in the States. We call them LED trucks. That's kind of lame. I think DigiVan needs to be a thing here in the States. Yeah,
definitely. The Digi trucks, whatever you want to call them. But we set off with two in 2020. We've now got 8, and we've got about 4 on order. In fact, we might have more than that now. We might have 10 now, and then we might have another 4 that's coming. So we're just crazy busy with them. We did 7 campaigns in London last week for all sorts of
holy
businesses.
smokes!
Yes, and they're all
when you're doing And when you're doing the campaigns, it looks like you do a lot of convoy stuff. It's multiple trucks. Is that how you're having the most success? Do you sell it one truck off? In the States, we see a lot of like one truck stuff. There are a lot of convoys, but you specialize in this kind of city takeover feel.
Yeah. So we're one of the few, I think, in the UK that can do the convoys, because we've got access to so many at a time, and we can sync them if needed as well.
Right.
We do a lot where it's just one, and they go for all sorts of businesses. Local businesses have them just to, do something.
You've done a bunch of like car dealerships. I've seen like end of the year car deal, right? Parking in front of the mall where there's a bunch of people.
Yeah, we've had them for dance music videos. We've had them for local. We've even had them for people using them as TVs to watch a rugby game or a football game.
Fun
Events. So yeah, all sorts. I mean, we've had them at a funeral to show photos of
Okay. I want a convoy at my funeral, just for the record, just in case anyone's taking notes.
Why not? Yeah, me too.
Now that you said it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Idea.
So they're great. They're really loud. So we've had a few complaints.
Because they've got sound too, right? It's like a movie theater on wheels.
Yeah. They're really good fun. So for music artists, they are fab. Absolutely fab. And I love the fact that, part of my job is I get to go down to London for the day, meet all the top celebs, cheer them up because I've got their face on a billboard.
Who doesn't love that?
Yeah. And then, have a lovely day with all the celebs. It's lovely. So that's a fun part of my job. Trying to organise them all around London is interesting as well.
A little bit of herding cats in there.
Yeah, because you do get times where it's, you've got people like the police, saying you've got to turn it down or you can't go here or you can't go. You just have to have fun. It's guerrilla marketing, really, isn't it? So do have a lot of fun with it. But the NFT market have just absolutely blew up with it. That's the kind of hot thing to do because, again, it goes back to what certain media owners will allow on the different screens, People will see NFT as art. So Hatebeast, for argument's sake, they'll advertise they've got their branding on the DigiVans, but there's nothing to say, download this or do that. It's literally the art, and that's the beauty of it, and that's what I like about it, I guess. You've got people turning heads going, what's that? This, really bright van that's got this great bit of art on, or it's got music on as well. It's so eye-catching, and it's so intriguing to see something like that. And then you remember it, if you see it on social media, then it's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Like that. Yeah. So I do love the DigiVans.
Love the DigiVans. Love that we're going to all start calling them DigiVans after this. Someone's listening to this and they're saying DigiVan to themselves and nodding. And they're like, this is much better. Yeah. This is
the ones in the US are awesome as well. I mean, I've been speaking to quite a few suppliers about the ones that are over there. There just seems to be quite a few different ones.
It's a mixed bag. Yeah. There's a lot of variability between owners and trucks and screen type and the quality of the screen and the process and all of those things. I got an education on LED a couple episodes ago from Raf Chang at the Tiger Party, who they built a lot of the custom digital in Times Square and do all that stuff. And he schooled me on the LED. I was like, whoa, I had no idea. That there's
people,
that made differences.
All that kind of thing.
All this stuff. So, and the way that you described it, Jess, the NFT artists, they're really using out of home as a broadcast medium. It's a way to get the art out there. They're not trying to sell the NFT. They're building the brand. They're creating 100%. Hype around their community versus looking for that bottom of funnel conversion, if you will, that all marketers tend to be obsessed with. They're treating it as, this is a way for me to continue to build the top of my funnel as an NFT creator, which will ultimately result in the value of my NFTs going up, selling more new NFTs, hyping up a new mint and those sorts of things. So they're really using the channel for what it's designed to do, which is create that broadcast reach and help create credibility and trust and authority with it. Is that a fair statement? They're not doing it to sell NFTs.
That's 100%. And that's what I love about it. They are using out of home the way that I think it should be. I think there's so many marketers these days, and it just drives me mad. What's the return on investment? What's this going to do? And sometimes you're thinking, the best campaigns that you can ever think of that have been on billboard did not have a QR code that's going to link to sales, that's going to give you that bit of information that you're going to go into your Monday meeting and say, oh, sales have gone up 200%. Sometimes the best campaigns are the ones that people remember and then become a part of your story, in your brand story, that will go on for 10 years, and you'll look back and go, remember when we did that? That really changed things in how we did things, because people remember us for that. And it changed the perception of who we are and what we're about, or it changed, all sorts of different things. It's out of home. That's the beauty of it for me.
That's the hot take. That's the crescendo. Jess, that's a perfect exclamation point. How do folks get in touch with you? You're going to be in the States coming up. I'm not sure if this episode will have come out already by then, but give them the Latin long. You're super active on social. Give them all the handles. How do folks find you? Okay. How do they follow you? How do they get in touch?
Okay, so all of my handles, I think, are at OOH with Jess, which is hilarious when people don't know what OOH is, and they just think, ooh, with Jess. But yeah, OOH with Jess. What else do you need? 21st of March to the 27th of March is when I'm in New York. My diary is getting really full really fast. So just, I'll have to make another trip. That's not
just coming back, because Buyers and Sellers is opening a New York office. I don't know if we spent a lot of time talking about it, but the expansion of Buyers and Sellers, you're coming stateside.
Yes. So I think it just makes sense for us to have an office there where, myself and the rest of the team can just come and go as we please. I think as we're getting busier, which we are, it's nonstop at the moment, with especially so many, mainly New York briefs, but it's not to say we're not getting other stuff as well, getting briefs for Denver, LA, Chicago, all sorts. But if we've got that base in New York, it's not a bad flight just to nip on the plane, get to New York, do some business, get back. I really want to be over your way for the NFT, New York NFT event that's going on in June as well. So I'll probably try and come over again around then. But if not before, it'd be great.
I'll start booking you up now.
Oh, yeah. And then there's the Digital Signage Week in September. Shout out to Adrian. Hey. So that would be good to come over then. I think it's not September, it's October. I think I've probably got that wrong.
I think I saw November, but I don't know.
There we go.
It's all running together. We'll make sure to have it all linked out. Jess, we'll put all the handles in the show notes below so folks can follow you. Super encourage you to follow Jess on TikTok, on Instagram. Her content's killer.
It's buyersandsellers.com.
Email. What's the email?
It's jess@buyersandsellers.com.
Easy.
We've got a new website that's going to be launched. Hopefully by the time you've got this out, we'll have a new look to our website. So
deal. All right. Well, we're just going to stay tuned. Jess, this has been a lot of fun. We're going to keep following you on all the channels. I'm going to continue to duet your content on TikTok because you're just absolutely killing the game, and your music selections are always a lot of fun. So thanks for being
here. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. If you found this to be helpful, please share it with somebody else who could benefit. Make sure to smash that subscribe button down below in the corner, or follow wherever you're listening to. And as always, we'll see you next time.
I finally came to my senses. I finally got my hand up on the tinted Benz, kid. I see the world clear through my tinted lenses. With the dream and the drive, the possibilities endless. Now print that, send this all the way to Tokyo. Take a trip down south, down to Mexico. Next stop, Shanghai, the world-class trade show. First class all the way, cause that's how we roll. Yeah, call us the rock star businessman. Rockin' shows, we handle business, man. We got our own future in the palm of our hands, cause divided